Hi guys, we are on page 132 of your Roots book doing tort, to twist. Make sure you mark that. If you are driving along a little traveled mountain road, you will certainly understand the meaning of tortuous. It comes from the root tort, to twist, and means full of twists and turns. You can speak of a tortuous road, a tortuous path through the woods, a tortuous climb down a mountain, a tortuous career with advances and reverses all along the way, or tortuous arguments that wander all over rather than moving directly toward a goal. Tortuous can also mean morally twisted, deceitful, or not straightforward. Tortuous explanations may twist the truth, and tortuous deals may be twisted or crooked. Be careful. Tortuous must not be confused with torturous, which is related to torture and means inflicting physical or mental pain. So we're going to have both those words this week, and we want to be very careful we see the difference in them, okay? Our first word is contortionist. It's a noun, means an acrobat who can twist the body and limbs into extraordinary positions. So it comes from tort, to twist, and con means together, so to twist together. And let's see, can see how she can twist her body up all the way over, right? I don't know about you, but I am not capable of doing that. Pretty cool, right? So that's a contortionist. That's from Cirque du Soleil. The next word is distort, from the roots dis meaning away and tort meaning to twist. Skip over that literal definition and look at the second one. To twist from the true meaning as to distort facts. So to twist it away from what it really means. And here you can see these pictures have been distorted, they've been twisted, so they look a little different than they really should. But you can do that with your words too. Lots of people do that with their words. They kind of make it seem like they mean one thing when really it means something else, okay, to distort the truth. Her description of the accident distorted the facts. That's a really good example there in your book for this word. Then we have extort, from the roots ex meaning out and tort meaning to twist, so to twist out. That means to obtain by violence or threat. Think about if someone were twisting you, right? Then if they twist your arm to make you do something like physically, then that's to obtain by violence or threat. And let's take a look at the video here.
Well, Diana, first of all, we're talking about an 8-year veteran of the NYPD. He's accused of taking part in an extortion scheme with alleged Albanian gang members. $24,000 in this alleged scheme, but there's even more to this story than that.
So what they're talking about is how he has power, right? He is a police officer and he's working with a group of kind of mobster type, gangster type people. So physical violence could have been part of it, or even just the threat that he as a police officer had power over those people could have been part of it, right? So that's what he was extorting those people. He was getting money from them by threatening them with either physically or any other kind of threat about like the power that he had. Next we have the word retort, from the roots re meaning back and tort meaning to twist, so to twist back. That's a reply to an insult or a criticism. I thought this was funny. Someone made a stupid comment. It was downvoted so people can't see my witty retort. How sad, right? That you would have a wonderfully witty retort and then no one would get to see it online. Gosh. And then here, I don't know if you remember the PC versus Mac commercials, Apple commercials, right? So here's the PC playing cards and waiting while the Mac or the Apple loads a witty retort. Ha ha ha. Alright, then there's the word torch. No extra roots here. A portable light produced by a flammable material twisted around the end of a stick and ignited. Early on they were made of twisted flax dipped in tallow. If you look here, here's the stick and here's what's twisted around it and here's the flame, right? We use this word a lot more broadly. Actually, some places they refer to a flashlight as a torch. When I lived in South Africa, that's what they called them, and I was a little bit confused at first, but I caught on pretty quick. This is actually like a pastry chef's torch. It's what you used to use for creme brulee, but anything like if you solder or if you weld, those are torches as well, right? And then of course we have the torch that represents the Olympics. So really we mean more just this a portable light produced. That's really what a torch means now, right? Technically, originally it had to do with twisting something around and lighting it on fire, which is how tort is related. All right, the next word is torment, and it means to annoy. Not that any of you would ever do that, right? I thought this was a funny thing for us to look at. This is a little girl who's talking about how tormenting her sibling.
YouTube! So today's video is a video request from Alvin Tan. He requested me over Facebook to make a how-to video on disturbing your siblings in a crazy way. What you doing? What? I'm reading a book. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Shut up! What you doing? Reading a book. What you doing?
Of course, none of you would ever torment your siblings like that. However, I imagine some of you have younger siblings who torment you like that. So, take a moment to revel in the fact that you are not alone. Alright, next we have tort, the actual root. And when it's used as a word, it means a wrongful act, injury, or damage for which a civil suit can be brought for damages. So, i.e., I get hurt, and then there's a suit, that is tort. It's the actual thing that went wrong, the injury or something that allows me to bring charges. That's the tort itself, okay? If a person breaks a shop window, that person has committed a tort against the shop owner. And there's a whole section of the law that's related specifically to tort, okay? So if you're here, if you see the word law, this chapter, it probably relates to this word, FYI. All right, tortoise, a turtle, especially a land turtle, so called perhaps because of its twisted feet. Check it out, look, they like twist behind. It's kind of cool. So, tortoise, hopefully you are already familiar with the tortoise, perhaps from the story of the tortoise and the hare, you know? All right, tortuous, like we talked about, full of twists and turns, or not straightforward or deceitful. If you look here, this is a tortuous path down the side of this cliff, back and forth, right? And then through here, because it is full of twists and turns. Torture, any severe physical or mental pain. I think you've probably heard that word before. I could be wrong, but generally torture is inflicted upon someone, so it doesn't have to be though. Waiting for the judge's decision after the contest was torture. It was mental pain. It was really tough to sit there and wait for the answers, right? And then torturous, inflicting physical or mental pain. The defendant had to go torturous questioning. So they had to undergo a lot of mental pain while they were questioned. Here we see some physical pain. These are marine workouts, and those are torturous. They're really, really, really tough, okay? All right. Go ahead and make sure your exercises and your key are done if you're in my class. Best of luck studying for the roots. Make sure you're studying all the old roots still. I know you're like, oh, it's almost the end of 8th grade. Still need to study those, okay? Good luck on your quiz.